Okay, here we go. All right, folks, here we are in Yosemite National Park doing the third in our series of A Voice for California. And today I wanted to talk to you about California, place of accelerated time on God's clock. From the very beginning of the history here in California, things happen supernaturally fast. And I'm here to tell you the term gold rush is literally prophetic to the state. And way back in the year 2000, basically 18 years ago now, God gave me a vision of the earth suspended in space, and there was a light over the earth, and it was in a particular place, and it moved north for a particular time, and then it moved west for a particular time, and then it moved west again. And the prophetic part of that vision was the timing. It was the first place it was in. It was there for a long time. It dwelt for a long time in the vision, and then it moved north, and it dwelt there for a particular period of time, but not as long as the first time. And then it moved west, and it dwelt for a little while, and then it moved west the fourth time. And that fourth move, when it got to the last position of west, it exploded immediately, shafts of lightning back all around the world. And right at the time I got that vision, the Lord gave me the interpretation that it was the light of Christ over the Holy Land and over the Middle East in the beginning of time. And then, as we know the history of the church, basically the church moved north to Europe, and it was there for quite a while, for centuries, many centuries. And then the old Church of England went dead, and etc. And we know the history that the Pilgrims brought it across the Atlantic to the east coast of America, which America was basically the east coast, the eastern seaboard, for about 200 years, from the middle 1860s, 1620, to the mid 1840s, when the westward expansion started. And when the westward expansion started, it happened pretty fast. And that was the light of Christ and civilization moving north to Europe, and then across the Atlantic to the Pacific, to the east coast, and then the westward expansion in the mid 1840s. And the thing of that light was as soon as it got to the west coast, it immediately exploded those lightning shafts all over the world. And God showed me that was the Azusa Street revival, which it was only like 56 years after statehood here in California that the Pentecostal fires shot all over the world from the Azusa Street revival. And as we know the story, California was foreign soil up until the middle of 1846, and then the Bear Flag Revolt started, and Fremont architected that move. And then in 1847, the Capitulation de Cahuenga was signed, where Pico surrendered to Fremont down in Southern California. In that treaty, now the acquisition of California was complete. And then immediately the gold was discovered by Marshall at Sutter's Mill in 1848, which were going boom, boom, boom. I mean, these things are just taking place in a hurry. And right after that gold was discovered, the 49er gold rush was on, the world rushed in. And then in 1849 already at Colton Hall in Monterey, they're writing the state constitution. And that state constitution was written and given to Fremont, who was voted in as the first senator for the United States, or actually from California, United States senator. And then he took it around the horn. And in 1850, that thing was argued in, and we became the 31st state. And the day that we became a state, we were already shipping gold out the Golden Gate, changing the economy of not only America, but the economy of nations. And but here we have that first in the natural, then in the spirit, which is in 1 Corinthians 15. And we've had first the natural gold rush, and then God in 1906 with that Azusa Street revival, a mere 56 years after statehood, which on the grand scale of time is very, very fast. We had the spiritual gold rush, which was Latter-day Pentecost, where all the Pentecostal moves, all the charismatic meetings, all the gatherings that are full gospel and spirit-filled anywhere in the world come back to California. And God was revealing his real plan for this state. And then after that, we started firing off international ministry after international ministry out of this state to where we lead the world in propagating the gospel of Jesus Christ. So if you live in California, I'm here to tell you you're in the right place at the right time. And you were born for such a time as this. So this is our encouragement here in California to wake up, stand up, stir up, and vote. Honey, you got something to say?
You bet I do. So there you have it. Now remember, you can view this whole series of videos on our new web, www.voiceforcalifornia.com. That's voiceforcalifornia.com. Help us get this word to all your friends and contacts. Now, people, let's wake up, stand up, stir up, and vote.
So there you have it, folks. Henry and Grace Falany in Yosemite National Park, standing here by the stables. And we bid you farewell and God bless you, and let's take this state back. Amen?
Amen.